Hello, boys and girls. Do you want to hear another Rinky Dinky Stinky Thinky story? You do? Oh, that story? Well, you know who Rinky Dinky Stinky and Thinky are. Rinky is kind of the spiritual one that always centers themselves. Dinky is the drama. Thinky always uses his thinker. And Stinky is stinking strong. So how does the story begin? Because yes, we'll tell that story about those flags. I remember that story. Oh yes, the story begins once upon a time. Yes, once upon a time, Rinky Dinky Stinky and Thinky were all excited because guess what? Memorial Day was coming up. And they loved Memorial Day because they always got to barbecue stuff on the grill. They got to get their kites out and start flying them in the sky. They sometimes played a lot of basketball and they went fishing. There were all kinds of things that Rinky Dinky Stinky and Thinky got to do on Memorial Day. But this one Memorial Day, it was very special. And that's because they got flags. You know, American flags. Red, white, and blue. Stars and stripes. And they were going to have some fun. Because the very first thing Dinky did was he went snooping around the garage and found out that there were piles of red, white, and blue flags all over the place. And so he grabbed them and gave them to Stinky and to Thinky and to Rinky and said, "Let's go put them out all over the yard." And they did. And then when they were all stuck in the ground, he went back into the garage, and you know what he found next? He found some plastic. What do you think it was he found? Yeah, he found some plastic tablecloths that were red, white, and blue. Now, he knew he probably shouldn't be playing with plastic. But that's just because Dinky always gets into a lot of drama. But he had an idea. He thought he was going to put that plastic tablecloth and wrap it around his neck, and he was going to be a superhero. And so Dinky did that, and he saw that there was this little hill. You know, it was kind of a muddy ground, dirty hill, big dirt hill. That's because they were building a house next door to where they lived. But anyways, he decided to climb up to the top of that hill, and he spread his arms out, and he said, "I'm going to fly." And then you know what happened next? A big wind whooshed him up, and he began to fly. Yeah, he started to fly because he had this cape on. I know it was a plastic tablecloth, but he thought it was a cape. And pretty soon he was flying all above the treetops, and he looked up at the clouds, and he went, "Whew, that's a little bit too high." And then he turned to the right, and then he turned to the left, and you know what he saw next? He saw birds flying with them, and he thought, "Wow, this is really cool. I'm flying with the birds." In the meantime, Rinky, Stinky, and Thinky are looking up at him going, "Aw, come on, Dinky, what are you doing now?" "Dinky, come back. We're barbecuing. Yeah, we're going to put the hot dogs on the grill." But he didn't listen because that's what Dinky does. He doesn't listen, and he often gets in trouble. So you know what he did next? He decided that he would try to steer. And pretty soon he was going in circles. In circles, 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 so fast that he was getting very, very dizzy. And then he didn't know where he was flying to. And then he looked down below, and he saw that he was flying above traffic. Uh-oh. Mama always says don't ever, ever, ever play in traffic, Dinky. You know what happened next? Well, then he heard and then some smoke popped up in his face. Then he looked down and he realized that he was almost right on top of a big old truck. And then you know what happened? Yep, he fell right into the back of the truck because it was a dump truck. And then you know what happened next? He bumped along in the dump truck. And then you know what happened next? Yeah, the dump truck pulled into the dump yard. And then all of a sudden, the back of the dump truck began to rise and get higher and higher, and pretty soon Dinky was like, "I'm almost upside down!" And you know what? He slid right out of the dump truck, right onto the ground. Whew! Well, at least he wasn't floating around in the skies anymore, but you know what happened next. Pretty soon, he heard someone, "Hey, you, what are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be in here. You're just a little kid." Dinky said, "I'm not. I'm a superhero. I flew here. Well, kinda." And then he said, "Hey, I saw these three friends of yours, Rinky, Stinky, and Thinky, and they were telling me that you just might end up in this dump truck. Do you want to know where they are?" Dinky said, "Yes, where are they?" And he said, "Well, Stinky, you know, the stinking strong one, he's throwing them over the fence right now so that they can come over here and get you. So go run over there and see if you can find your friends and hightail it out of here." And so Dinky ran real quick, and sure enough, Stinky had just thrown Rinky over the fence. "Ooh," Rinky said. And Thinky said, hold on. I'll stay on this side. I'm using my thinker. I don't think I need to go into a junkyard and into the dump yard. I'll stay out here. You guys go get Dinky. I'll wait by the gate." And sure enough, they went to go get Dinky. And Dinky's like, "Wow, that was a lot of fun. I gotta tell you all about it." And Rinky said, "Sometimes, Dinky, you need to use your imagination a little less." And Dinky said, I have lots of fun with my imagination. The end.